Hello,
Hi.
and welcome back to The Few Who Speak. As you may have
Hi.
heard, last week I was dismembered and consumed. They made a
Yeah.
fatal assumption, thinking that I would rest in the
A
dead.
fable
Shut the
assumption.
fuck up. A fatal assumption, thinking that I would rest peacefully in the dead. So now I have overpowered every single one of their bodies.
You have a witch GF.
And that's why none of them but Alex are here.
you were brought
I was
back.
brought back. I brought myself back. I now possess four
No.
people at once.
I
except Alex.
suggested that your GF did.
Oh, Ellie? No, she's not.
Yeah,
she's not.
she brought you back from the dead.
She's
resuscitated
a chemist.
you.
She's not into black magic. And today we have a new face. One that would not be so foolish as to think they could obliterate me. Hi, Jay.
Hi, Gray. We have
The scariest talk show intro to ever receive.
Oh, I peeked my mic.
That's fine. We'll fix it. Whatever. There's no rules, just
There's no
right.
rules.
I figured I might
Much
as
like
well
the King
start
Burger.
as terrifying as possible and gradually introduce Jay.
I like that we have a lore.
We have lore
in
now.
our goof
We
our
do.
goof talking podcast. We have a arc now.
Next
We're going somewhere, I guess.
episode,
Character, Jay.
everyone is going to be here, and it's going to be like, but I thought you died.
And it's a fight.
Oh, we got better.
We got better. I got better.
We got better.
We got better. Yeah, Jay is new to this we call it a network, right?
Held
That's the word.
together
That would be
with
the correct
rope
sentence.
string.
Basically, yes.
With popsicle sticks
And glue.
and glitter glue.
Glitter glue specifically.
Jay originally
Yeah, it can.
came on to be a voice in a upcoming podcast, The Werewolves. But Jay is a long time
Now you've been dragged
Jay
here.
is a longtime good friend of ours, and we
sucked
very much
into it.
enjoy their personality.
I have a
Yeah,
personality.
you've been drawn in.
You
Yeah,
listen.
I would
I have
hope.
too much.
I would hope.
Someone
Please
is
take some.
making.
You gotta take some of Gray's because they go over the top. You gotta
Looks at
nerf
your
them.
personality.
It's pretty good.
And
Thank
I'm here
you.
to put Jay on the spot like a 4th grade elementary school teacher. How about you tell us something about yourself?
I hate this. I
fuck.
hate this because this has always been the worst part of every school year when they're like, "Hey, Jay, would you like to tell us about yourself?" And I'm like, I don't know things about myself. Do you think
I'd rather not.
Tell us about your dog.
Tell us about your
Well,
dog.
his name is Brutus, and I love him.
God, I
He
love
is
Brutus.
He is a pit bull, Cane Corso mix, but also mostly a mutt. But like you can see in his face that he's a pit bull, and he's
And his
stupid.
his
He's
little
loud, and I
stupid
love
eyes. Oh, me too.
That's quite a pooch.
him. Yes, but
quite a pooch.
myself, my name's Jay. Number one. I draw occasionally. I cosplay occasionally.
Your pronouns?
They them.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good one. That's a very
My
good one.
pronouns are they them.
Also the biggest fan of Neil Cicerega I know.
Oh my god.
On
I
this earth.
am a very big fan of Neil Cicerega. How did you
You're-
just pronounce it, Alex?
Cicerega? Sarsaparilla?
That's what
I don't know.
Sarsaparilla? Yeah, Neil Sarsaparilla is what I'm going to
Neil
say from now on.
Cece's Pizza?
Caesar's
Yeah,
pizza.
Neil Cece's Pizza.
Neil
Yeah.
Cece's pizza. You do
Yeah.
have an amazing
When I say words like how is it actually pronounced? Say it for me.
Cicerega.
Cicerega.
Sounds like an
What did I say?
Italian word.
I don't know. I think you said it funny, but
sound-
not incredibly funny.
I
I
think it. My brain. I'm hearing it as because you said sarsaparilla. I'm now thinking of it in like my grandmother from Tennessee, like Cicerega, Like,
It's just another curse I've put onto your existence.
But
no, take it away.
but yeah, that's
Take the
basically
cars off.
Come
been
into this with
half
weird
of my
energy.
personality since last July is Nelson Sariga and his music and his content and his friends. So,
I remember
like-
standing with you in the comic book shop because it was like the day between our birthdays.
Yeah, it was
Yours is the
gonna
23rd
dox
and mine's
both of us. It was September 22nd. Mine's the 23rd. Yours is the 21st.
And we were standing in the middle of that comic book shop, and you pulled up eBay. Like I accidentally bid on 2 phones that I would use for
Oh my god.
Lemon
Yeah.
Demon or Spirit Phone.
Yeah,
Phone, right?
so I quote unquote cosplayed Lemon
It
Demons.
was good. It was a cosplay. I loved it.
I mean, but I don't like know what to if it's to categorize it as a cosplay or not. But I cosplayed his album Spirit Phone, and I got a rotary telephone on eBay for it. And it's actually I like it because it's the same type of phone that he used in the promo video for
Same
that
model?
album.
Same model.
Yeah. Except his is black and the one I used is red, just for fun color. And I
Red
bidded
good.
on 2 of them. And I bid on one of them, and then the other one I made an offer on it, which was a lot better than the bid that I did for the first one, and then I couldn't, and then no one else bid on that phone. So I was just like, I'm gonna cancel the offer and hope that the owner doesn't like come after me.
Chase you
And
down.
nothing ever happened, so now I just own one phone and everything's fine.
You wake up to
You get like
curled cord around your neck.
UPS. you get a fucking like at the door, and you answer it, and it's just this huge box from UPS. And you're like, what is this? And they're like, sign for this. You sign for it, and the dude just pops out with styrofoam packing peanuts just flying out. He's like, you.
It's very
has
it's
the phone in
cinematic. My death will
Wraps
be
the
very
That would be
cinematic.
that.
Your throat.
That if that was humanly possible, that's a Gray movie. that's like Gray would ship themselves to someone to be extra
You know,
and show up bursting out of a box of packing peanuts.
I feel like I have done something like that before.
What do you mean something like
Oh,
that?
I didn't
what do
ship
you
myself,
mean?
but like I
You
have a lot
didn't
of
ship
friends
yourself.
on the East Coast, and I'll travel to see them and stuff, and like I'll just hop into their cars when they're like passing by, and then I'll just show up at their house, and they will let me stay there for a week.
Ray, do that challenge
That's pretty good.
to me. You can sleep
Honestly.
you can sleep on the shitty broken couch that I have in the playroom.
I'm gonna sleep next to
Hell
Brutus
yeah.
wherever he lays down. And
Yeah,
we'll
that's
vibe.
the couch that he sleeps on.
Oh,
On the
okay,
shit-
cool.
On the shitty broken couch.
Yeah.
You would be
Roommates.
I think for me, if I lay down on it, toe to tip, it's like just about my height. So you would be
I would not fit.
uncomfortable.
Limbs just spilling out. Your head just
Have we
craning
ever mentioned on this
backwards.
podcast how fucking tall I am?
Gray
I
is
feel like
so
we
tall.
must have.
You're pretty
I
fucking
feel like
tall.
we have to have said it at
first-
some point.
Give me the stats.
I am 6'3".
Give me your stats.
I am 6'3"
Oh.
and 200
You don't-
something pounds.
Like the first time I met Gray, God, when the fuck was OhioCon? No, it wasn't OhioCon. Shit. What con was that?
No, you came over and we watched. No, wait, the Spider-Man thing happened afterward.
Yeah. The first it wasn't OhioCon. What fucking con was that? The cool.
Fuck. Katsu?
It was
Colossal?
ColossalCon. Yes, thank
Okay,
you, Alex.
yeah,
The
yeah,
one
Colossal.
person that wasn't there.
I know the three big ones because I was friends with all you Homestuck nerds.
Oh, we don't talk about that. We don't say that word here.
The before era.
Well, Gray, you were in Homestuck cosplay when I met
I
you.
was in Dirk, and I was in crutches.
You were in crutches because you hurt your knee at the con.
Punished,
But
Gray.
I remember I met you, and I'm sure it's something you get a lot, but I was like, you're taller than I thought you were.
The thing is, I was also like hunched down because my crutches were a little short.
But you're so tall, and I appreciate that in a person.
Thank you.
I think I'm like, the last time I ever checked, I think I'm 6'1".
Oh,
I
hell
don't
yeah,
remember.
tall gang.
Yeah, I think I'm the second tallest, I think. I don't know Lilith's height.
How tall is Tyler?
She's like,
Or AJ's for that
AJ's
matter.
like 5'9".
What the fuck? AJ's taller than me? I'm 5'6".
Yeah, AJ's pretty tall, but like the joke is that me and Lilith are both taller than AJ, so now they're the short one.
Aw. AJ just emanates short person energies. Like they
Hold on.
feel
Really?
like
Hey!
Hold on.
5'2".
Hold on. I'm calling AJ to tattle on you.
Are we doing this
Call
live?
Yeah.
You're gonna call live? Oh
Also,
boy.
I'm so
I can't
sorry
wait.
that my laugh keeps like fucking
Oh boy.
peaking the mic.
You know, they could be busy right now, so hey,
They're-
I'm recording
I mean,
the
yeah.
podcast right now, and I'm gonna tattle on Jay really fast and let you go about your way. They said
Hold
you
them
have
closer
short
to the
person energy.
I'm taller than them.
Yeah, but that shocked that.
This done silence.
You can't.
You're like 5'6".
Aren't you 5'6", Jay?
I am 5'6".
No, I'm almost 5'9".
What did they say? On our
Almost
side, it's
5'9". I had to bring in the discourse. Thank you, AJ.
I love you,
Okay,
AJ.
goodbye. I love you. We love you.
Very good.
That's the second time I've used my caller bypass to bug AJ for a bit.
Yeah, what was the previous one? Was like talking about how big a Fire
No,
Emblem's
it wasn't
character's
Fire
ass was,
Emblem.
right?
Okay, listen.
Oh, who was it?
Okay,
Who was it?
it was okay. We talked about this before, but Jay wasn't here for it, so I'm going to
Yeah.
repeat.
Yeah.
Well, I've listened to all
playing
of your
Pokemon.
podcasts because I'm your biggest fan.
Aw. It was the one with I called AJ, and usually I only call AJ when like if there's like an emergency and I need someone to talk to, because we're usually like, hey, are you okay to talk before I call them? But right as they were trying to go to sleep, I called them because I suddenly remembered something that I wanted to say all morning, but I was so caught up in chores that I did not remember it. So AJ wakes up in just a blur and sees my caller ID. And I was like, hey, what's wrong? Are you okay? And I was like, oh yeah, I just wanted to tell you, like, Leon's tits are so big because that's where he stores all his
Leon's
victories.
tits are fat.
They are. It's where he stores his victories.
Victories are stored in
Where
the
he
tit.
stores.
Just singular.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Only one.
Singular one.
The other one hands out losses. The other one hands you the
Yeah,
L.
the other one. Yeah.
I don't know what character
Yeah, the
you're
one with
talking
One
about,
tells
but
the truth,
I'm
one
sure
tells
you're true.
lies.
Leon's like the grand
champion.
champion of Pokemon Sword and Shield,
Yeah,
right?
he's the
I
regional
thought you were
champion.
talking
I
about
saw
like
him play those
Fire
games.
Emblem because that's
No. Okay, I know I talk about Fire Emblem a lot.
Also with no context, thought it could have been Leon Kennedy from the Resident Evil series.
No, that's a twink.
That is a twonk. That man is ripped in Resident Evil 4.
You're right. You're right.
And
Oh,
I
yeah,
I
Leon's-
can see it. I can see that. I can see that for Resident Evil 2 because he's a young boy. But in 4, he's got like a hair swoop that covers one of his eyes, and he
Oh.
wears like a vest,
Oh,
like a
he
like a
does
really
wear that
tight T-shirt.
vest. They really eye candied Leon up, huh?
Oh, for 4, yeah, he became like the boy.
Okay,
They were like, screw Jill Valentine, screw Claire, fuck all these people, screw the Redfields. It's Leon
literally
time.
the fourth image of Leon Kennedy on Google Images is him shirtless except for a bulletproof vest, which I mean I guess
Hell
isn't
yeah.
shirtless, but
isn't
like
that
still.
canon? Isn't that a skin you can unlock?
I don't know. It's the image comes from Polygon, and the title of the article is "The Resident Evil 2 remake revives the sexy side of its star, Leon S.
Hell
Kennedy."
yeah.
The S stands
Hell
for
yeah.
smoochable.
Oh, hell yeah.
Thank you,
I
Cass
can't wait for
Marshall.
they said
from
that they were going to
Polygon.com.
Capcom announced that they're going to they're not going to remaster Resident Evil 1 because they kind of already did. I kind of wish they would redo it in like the new fancy engine that they did for 2 and 3. But they're like, we're doing 4 next, and I'm like, they're God. I hope that they let you use the old. I hope that if they redub it, they let you have the old voices, because the best part about that game is there's like a little creature boy who's in like a little sailor suit. No, he's in like a little Napoleon Bonaparte
that's
outfit,
worse.
I think. But he always goes, Mr. Kennedy, and he fucking kills me every time. I love Resident Evil 4. It's the goofiest shit. It's so schlocky. Oh,
Which was it?
Is it
Resident
controversial
Evil
to say?
Go
Oh, go
on.
ahead.
I was gonna. Was it Resident Evil, which was the one with the funny dog song on the soundtrack?
that's Silent Hill. That's Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2, there's a secret ending where it turns out there's just a Shiba Inu that controlled the whole video game in like a control panel room with levers and like buttons, and he's got a little headset on.
serious?
And then like and yes, and then the protagonist of the game like falls to his knees, so he's like, "So, it was you all along." And then the dog goes, "Bark, bark." And then he falls to his knees in despair, and then it plays the credit song. Like it plays the credits, but instead of yes, it's real. You can go on YouTube and listen to this song. And like during the credits, instead of the normal credit song, it plays like a funny ass like song where it's just dog barking, where it just goes bark 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 bark. Like it's just like this goofiest shit, and like there's just like a picture of the Shiba Inu model like chroma keyed, like just transparent over the credits the entire time. It's incredible.
That is amazing.
Silent Hill 2 is both one of the most psychologically, like, it's super incredibly sad and very fucking spooky, but also goofy as shit.
The things that tend to have like those like last minute gags tend to be like very big passion projects. Like
Silent Hill 1's gag ending is that the main character just gets abducted by a UFO and then the game ends.
Oh my God,
I think
I
with
didn't know that was a
like
thing.
with things like Silent Hill, you gotta have something funny like that. Because
What
even though the
games
people
would benefit from a gag ending?
I don't know, I'm
I'm
not
thinking.
a gamer.
Give me a second.
Gamers
Give me
don't
a
have
second.
Well, we were
rights.
talking about Resident Evil. Can we just get like an ending where like Leon marries Mr. X? Like,
Yes.
Can the gays win?
Mr. X is just like a sentient virus.
No, the gag ending for Resident Evil is that Mr. X busts through the wall and it plays X gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
It plays as they walk down the aisle.
The real ending is a gag ending for Resident Evil 3, where Nemesis, the Mr. X of Resident Evil 3, Nemesis and Mr. X marry. Those two
You're
deserve
right,
each
Oh
you're
my
other.
God, you're right.
Hunk on hunk action.
Right, but what about
And then
Leon? That
Claire
twink
and then
needs to get
Claire
obliterated.
Redfield and Jill Valentine go hang out or something. I don't know what they do.
Can I obliterate the twink then?
I want
Yeah, Leon's got no one. Leon's got no one.
yeah.
Go for
I
it.
want this twink obliterated.
Obliterated. Absolutely demised. But like in a hot way.
Great. Earlier you were going
You know what,
to say
a lot-
you had a controversial opinion for something.
Oh yeah.
I was hoping you'd
I wanna
forgotten
hear
about
this.
that because I was just going to bring up how I...
Nope. Gotta hear it now.
That's basically what I was going to bring up. It's just I kind of thought Mr. X was hot.
I mean,
I mean,
there's a
like,
market for that.
his.
I mean, okay.
I mean,
listen.
if you don't look at the face, if you saw like a nice, like bright light shined on Mr. X's face, you'd be like,
Okay, but that's like
hmm.
with most people. Like if you just like shine a fluorescent light in their
Okay.
face, they're gonna be like, ugh. Just because you're shining a bright light
I mean,
in their
like,
He
face.
doesn't-
but
he
Mr.
doesn't
X
look
face,
awful.
you know that you know that scene in
Okay, well,
SpongeBob,
some of us aren't
in that
so
one episode
shallow.
of SpongeBob where he takes that episode of SpongeBob where he takes like a buffer to his face and then he spins it and then his face is just like a mess, like it's all spun around. That's what Mr. X looks like.
Listen, I don't want him for his face. I think that
You
was
want him
all-
for his dick.
Yeah, thank you, Jay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What if he doesn't have one?
Well, then
Isn't there a
what's the point?
Who creates a monster that
So
can't?
that's
Who
the Resident
creates
Evil,
a monster
the Umbrella
that
Corporation
can't talk?
scientists debating whether to put a penis on the T
Hold on.
virus.
Hold on. I'm like 90% sure that
That's
there is like an
stupid.
outfit for Mr. X that's just a Speedo in the game.
I'm pretty sure that's a
okay.
mod. The only outfits you can have are for Leon or Claire into.
Okay,
Shame,
yeah, this
really.
probably was mod.
Speaking of gags, in Resident Evil 2, if you beat all the like the campaign, which is like if you beat like
It was
both
mod, yeah, I
Claire's.
just found it.
You the what's it called in Resident Evil 2, when you do like both Claire and Leon's stories, like all of them, you unlock tofu
Yeah.
mode. And tofu mode is when you play as a solid sentient block of tofu with a hat and a different loadout, and you have to make like a crawl through like the longest stretch of the game and just run and try to get through as fast as possible.
Sentient block of tofu.
It's like horror games really thrive by having goof modes. Like Resident Evil 7 had those. Like one of the DLCs is you just are like the uncle of the family that lives in the swamp in Resident Evil 7, and then he comes to the house and sees that everyone's been infected by Umbrella Corporation ooze, and he goes, ah shit, and then he just punches everything to death.
Hell yeah.
He just punches.
That's real Florida
and then he gets a super powered glove
That's Florida
at the
energy
end
right
that
there.
punches better. Like the monsters that chase you through the house in the main game, like he just picks up and just throws on the ground and beats their head
The
off.
murder
Like,
hobo representation. Murder hobo representation.
like some horror games thrive by having goof modes like that. If PT had one of those, it'd be
I don't know.
horrible.
I think it'd be kind of
P-
funny if
PT?
there was if like the monster jumped
PT
out. and it
do
was,
you
like,
not
a
know what
clown.
PT is, Gray?
Uh,
You want a synopsis?
I feel like I know what it is.
You probably
Was it that-
do.
I remember
It
like,
was,
wasn't there a bunch
the
of
creator
YouTubers,
of
like,
the-
playing the like okay,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, because it was probably the scariest video game demo ever. It was a video game demo for what was going to be like a Silent Hill game, I believe.
but then they
But then
scrapped it.
Konami shut it down. Konami shut it
Konami
down because they're a bunch of
sucks. 'Cause it was too
scumbags.
scary.
They're really bad. But yeah, the point of the game is you were just running through the same hallway for like 3 hours, but as it went on, it just got scarier and scarier. Like at one point, like the horrible ghost that's chasing you around, her model is just behind you. No matter like if you were to turn 360 degrees, it's just always fixed behind your head. And the only way people found out about that before like they like started like data mining and like looking behind the camera, like taking the camera out of the player's like head through like mods or like modifications. They like the only way they found out about this is that it casts a shadow on the dynamic lighting. So they'd just be walking and they'd have like a light source behind them and they just see a shadow behind theirs.
Oh, that is
and
terrifying.
it was like and it's like shaking like violently. It's like, oh
Yeah, I
That's
remember
terrifying.
when PT first came out. That was like, because I'm not good with horror, especially if I am in charge of playing and pausing the video by myself. Because
I don't
if
think
I,
I've literally ever played a horror game.
oh god, I like if I'm watching a horror movie, like in a theater, or if I'm watching with a friend and I can't pause it, I'm kind of fine. But like if I'm a bit able to pause it, it'll take me like 3 hours to get through a 20-minute video. And that was the worst thing when PT came out, because I would just try to watch Let's Plays of it, and I couldn't, because I'd get too scared, and I'd pause the video and walk away for 10 minutes, and then I'd come back, watch 2 seconds of it, and then walk away.
That's when you know it's good. I think I had to do the same thing. What if one of the
Whenever I watch a
rounds you just
video,
looked at
when
the
I,
shadow?
like my old technique was to just let the video continue playing and scroll down and read comments.
But
That
then you'd
did
miss
help.
the visuals, you'd miss something.
They should have done it
Yeah,
that one
that's the
one of the
point.
laps. Like it was just like the shadow just had it got him.
Just
Well, there's like points where like it's not directly behind you, it's just like standing in front of where you're supposed to go, blocking you in this hallway meant for like single person traffic. So because it's like a residential like hallway.
Oof.
So like there and like it's just standing there, or sometimes there's like this like balcony area up at the top that
I
you can never
remember,
reach.
like,
It's just like,
only a few people
and there's
saw
just a
that.
ghost. She's just looking down. Yeah, because no one really looks up there
Yeah, what was
usually.
the lore
But
to
if you
that?
did, sometimes she's just
It's a
looking.
funny little Easter
But yeah, the
egg.
game. Yeah, it was just like the game was like just like 3 hours of the same hallway, but it just got so tense because you're like, okay, what's gonna fucking happen now? What's going to
there
change
gonna
in
be
this
another
hallway? And
goddamn
they're like,
baby in
and
the
like
city?
it turned people into real like ARG like fanatics, because they were all like trying to solve the like very cryptic puzzles to continue through the demo. It was like a really in-depth like thing, and that's why people were so excited for it. And then Konami was like,
Why does Konami
No.
have to ruin everything?
money.
Company bad.
My favorite
Yeah.
my favorite theory is that they're run by the Yakuza.
Oh boy.
They're a shell corporation, so they don't make video games anymore. Well, they do, but that's not the reason.
It's not
The
good.
reason is not to make video games. The excuse is to make video games.
Huh. E3 is just a laundering scheme.
Man, we're probably not gonna have an E3 this
I
year.
hope not.
Yep.
You think nerds would be hygienic enough to like
Oh god, no.
Conventions
It
are
would- it
always
would
just
morph into
conventions are
us-
always just a cesspool of disease.
There's
I mean, they
Cesspool
call it
without a
con funk
pandemic.
for a reason.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
called con plague
baby.
before the pandemic. Now it would like actually mutate into like fucking black
Mr.
plague,
X.
electric boogaloo.
Imagine you're walking on the show floor of a convention, and you just all of a sudden you hear just like someone go like, and then they just turn into like a 10-foot tall man in a black overcoat and a fedora. He just starts stomping around.
I mean, that's just cosplay. I feel like if like Mr. X did show up to a convention, a comic convention would be like the least assuming place.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a pyramid head at every single con I've gone to. My favorite thing about pyramid head
Pyramid Head's good.
cosplayers though is because of a lot of cons have equal nudity rules. So words. Yeah, so everyone's nips have to be censored.
The lads gotta
Yeah,
cover
yeah,
up.
they gotta cover up. So it's always funny just seeing a pyramid head with their like big funny sword and big funny head, but they have band-aids on their nipples.
Big funny sword and big funny
That's
hat
pretty
and
good.
pasties.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but like because a lot of people like you'd either have pasties or they'd have like X marks on their nips with taper. Just like if you didn't have like a lot of people just use band-aids, which I'm sure
Right.
was very fun to take off at the end of the day.
Oh god, Katsucon After Dark is another planet. I feel like I've told this story before, but like,
Oh boy.
well, if I did, it'll have to be after the break. Because,
Wow. Cliffhanger.
you know me, my cliffhangers, and my ominous comments, and my terrifying statements. All right, everybody, let's go. And welcome back. So,
Yo.
where did I leave off?
You're about to tell
Oh,
your
yeah.
Katsucon story.
So, Katsucon is so there's like a few cons that have reputations, and you only learn about their reputations if you've been like the cosplay community for a while, and you've talked to people that have like gone to these conventions. And Katsucon is known as one of those like party conventions. It's your convention that you show off your like best cosplays,
Yeah.
like the ones you put the most money and effort into, because the lighting in there is great. And at nighttime, oof, at nighttime it is buck wild because it's a bunch of nerds in a hotel getting very drunk. And the last year I went, which wasn't this year, but I think 2019, the police had to be called.
I think I heard about this.
Yeah, because someone was like giving out drugs at the roof bar, which has like this like really pretty like pastel like lighting.
Oh, it's so pretty.
So obviously like the adult cosplayers want to go up there and like have a fun time and get some photos. And a few times in the elevator, if you catch someone that is on their way up there, they might just offer you cocaine.
Hey, want some cocaine?
They might just offer you some, and they'll tell you, yeah, man, all you need is your ID to get in there. And I'm just like, oh boy. I was like, listen, I've been solicited. I was in high school. I know what this means. So I was just like to my friends, I was like, no. Don't ask
Say
any further
no to
questions. Y'all aren't
drugs.
old enough. And obviously
Only cheaters use drugs.
And then there was the rave, which I went to with my friends, and my friend's one roommate at the time got so drunk on whiskey, and it was 2 a.m. and we had to go looking for her in full rave cosplay. I was in Dancing Star Night Akira, not Dancing Star Night, but like the DLC for the dancing outfits before the dance spinoff came out with my friends, and we were like, where the fuck is she?
Hidden.
We found her about a hallway away from the rave with a rug burn on her ass because she fell.
Oh.
And then she tried running from us, and
She
was
ran?
18 at the time.
Oh no.
She ran. She booked it. Don't like how fast she was. She fucking booked it. And my friend was like, okay, we need to get her. We need to get out of here because she's 18. So she shouldn't have been drinking.
Jesus.
But the cops were already there, along with a few ambulances. And the Uber that they called was going to meet them at the front of the Gaylord Hotel.
Oh.
Can we just pause
Which
and
is-
just say how good of a name Gaylord
Every time I
Every
hear about
time.
like MagFest, which is the music and gaming festival, fucking they're always
MagFest.
at the Gaylord Hotel, and it's like, oh god, what a name.
Yeah, there's a Gaylord down in Florida, and every time we go from the airport to Orlando, we pass the Gaylord. I'm like, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is.
Your kingdom.
But anyway, the
Kingdom
the
come,
taxi
I will be done.
or the Uber.
Right, so we were at like pretty much the other side of this big ass hotel convention center, and we had to make it to the front of the hotel. And during this time, there was about 4 ambulances. An entire elevator had to be blocked off because they were using it just to get to the roof and back down because some dipshits were like ODing. Like nobody got hurt. Like nobody got hurt, nobody died, but like still like an ambulance had to be called. On our way there, we saw someone get tackled by the police. And, just a healthy sprinkling of human teeth. Just along the way, which,
Crunchy.
was probably props It was probably
Yeah.
props because it's not hard to find just a molding of human teeth for
You can
costumes.
get like a
But you
bag
know-
of teeth for props.
Yeah.
I've seen
We
it.
live in a wonderful world.
But yeah, but like when you're like and my friend, bless her heart, was like, yeah, you can go up to your hotel room because I had a room in the hotel in the Gaylord. And I'm like, fuck no, I'm not leaving you with your drunk ass friend and your other friend who is their first convention ever to try and buck and weave through security
KatsuCon is
alone.
not a first convention.
No. No, it's not. And that's not even the party convention. The party conventions are colossal con.
Oh yeah.
Because
I like that-
the Kalahari
I like
Cups.
that everything you hear about conventions is like during the day. It's like, yeah, we all have fun, we cosplay, we go around, see the stuff on the show floor, and then it's like at night, it's like everyone's drunk and fucking. Like
Yeah.
that's all that happens.
Oh my god, I didn't tell you about the window that had the orgy sign in it.
Oh, great.
I'm trying to remember which.
It's good to
year it was.
label.
It was
It's
either-
good to label that kind of thing. It's
Right.
It's good to let people know.
So I'm pretty sure this is an annual thing for KatsuCon.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's themed. One year
Yes.
it was Overwatch. I think it was 2018.
Cheers, love.
And
The
my-
dildos are here.
That is the cavalry.
Stop. So my friends were like at the window because again, hotel room in the convention center, and they looked to see because like people will put signs and like body pillows or like their favorite anime characters in the window sometimes, and it was just this one that said orgy question mark.
Oh. Maybe
And when
maybe
I
that
saw
wasn't
that-
where it was happening. Maybe someone was trying to find it. They were like,
I hope they didn't find it,
or maybe they're
because-
trying to set one up. Like, do they have like a contact? They have an email.
Rival orgy. Rival orgy. Rival KatsuCon orgy. But I hope they didn't make it to that one because apparently, like a week after, someone posted on Facebook, it's like, hey, if you were at the KatsuCon Overwatch orgy, get yourself tested because someone didn't wear a condom.
Oh no.
And we just found this out.
God, Jesus Christ! Conventions are a wild ride.
Like
are.
I've never been to KatsuCon, even though it's closer to me than any of the Ohio cons. But I've been going to cons for over 5 years, and I still don't think I'm ready for Katsu.
Honestly, I would love to go with. I mean, I
It's
would
one
love
of
to
those
go
things
with
where you
you
need
one
like
day,
a
but
trip
I don't want to
sitter.
scare you.
Yeah,
You
I
need
don't
a
want to
trip
scare you.
I'd love to go to Katsu, but I know I can't go alone like I usually do to my local cons.
Yeah.
Just because
I mean, A-Next.
going to a convention alone, gotta say, a little bit depressing.
Yeah, I've gone to conventions alone a lot when I was younger. Oh my god. So A-Next, I really hope this doesn't become a trend because I saw the ambulances at KatsuCon and then A-Next 2019 I saw more ambulances because and then someone texted my friend who's like a more popular cosplayer saying like, hey, if someone like offers you LSD at the rave, don't take it.
Yeah.
And I just saw
It's
this fucking
just
dude.
a den of degeneracy.
It
Once
really-
the lights
And then-
go out.
We were fucking outside the convention waiting on the fucking jitney, Atlantic City jitney to take us back to their hotel room because A-Next, bless their fucking soul, rented out some jitneys to take people to and from their like hotels because like it was like a huge safety issue because people get fucked up. And I just saw this fucking dude holding a wheelchair. He was with the ambulance, like an abandoned shuriken next to him from someone's incomplete Naruto cosplay.
Rest in peace.
Who just, I was just like, is everything okay? And he's just like, I'm not allowed to tell you.
Not allowed.
And I was like, cool. And you know what? I was in Dancing Star Night Joker again. So maybe
Incredible
that
stuff.
Cosplay's
outfit's
just
just
cursed,
cursed.
yeah.
Yeah. I did get into the center of the of like the dance circles in that cosplay though, because I had some glow sticks and I was vibing,
fuck
so that was
yeah.
fun.
I have never been to a rave because
One of
most
these days you need to come with me to a convention that we stay overnight with, and you're gonna lose your shit.
yes, 'cause, but like I've never gone to a rave because most of the time I'm either alone with my dad or with a friend who has a photosensitive epilepsy. So like
Oh.
so like I'm just like fucked.
Yeah, they're like alert. Everyone you go with is allergic to raves.
I mean, like, yeah, I
either
just know my dad
or
wouldn't be fun
epilepsy.
at a rave. It's like,
Someone-
hey, father, would you like to go to a rave
What if-
with me?
What if you do and you just like lose him? He comes back like an hour later. He's like, "Yeah, I got some party drugs."
I mean, I feel like he'd be in the middle of a dance circle doing a fucking ska dance, fucking
see-
skanking.
Germa break dance.
I've actually, at the last Otakon I went to, I did see someone going in with their dad, and I was like, amazing. People have no shame.
Or really cool dads.
Or really cool
It's
dads.
funny.
You know what?
At
Yeah.
the like one con that I went to, I think it was the second Ohio con that I went to. I went with my dad, and he was more popular than I was because he was Grunkle Stan, and he got
Hell
stopped
yeah.
like every 2 minutes for photos. And
Hell
I'm just
yeah.
like,
Oh,
Dad, would you like
man.
to share the fame? What is it like? What is it like being famous? I gotta know.
What's it like being popular?
What if your dad just became like what if you became an e-boy?
E-boys.
E-man.
These are these are things I don't want to think about.
I would like to be on your dad's OnlyFans.
The OnlyFans is just a Brutus.
Can we
It's just photos of the dog.
can we not say the words Jay's dad's OnlyFans? Please.
Your mom's OnlyFans?
No.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that's your mom. She bought me pancakes for my
Brutus's
birthday.
OnlyFans.
Brutus can have
Brutus's
an
OnlyFans. As a treat.
That's it.
It's that video of that dog with like the remote, or like he had some like camera on a stick and he picked it up and he just was running around the house.
running.
Yeah, he had
I
running
love
around the
those
house.
videos.
Yes.
Oh,
I adore those
videos of
videos.
dogs with like like GoPros strapped to their back as they like run down to the ocean
Yes.
as fast as possible.
I've had several people recommend I start an OnlyFans, and it just being like POV video, POV,
Pove?
POV. I say
Pove?
POV. Leave me alone.
Pove?
It's like the people that
Ho?
fucking say asthma.
Yeah, who the fuck
I-
says that?
I say that. I'm gonna kill you.
I say asthma.
And they were just like, make POV videos of you just being really mean to a camera, and I'm like, no.
Gonna
can't do that.
like exploit simps for a second Nintendo Switch.
Hell
You know
yeah.
what? Maybe I will. Maybe I want to get Ellie a light.
A,
Maybe I know someone that has it. No, I can't do that
a
again.
light?
A Switch
A
Lite.
Switch Lite is
Oh.
like a baby.
I
Baby
thought light
Switch.
was some sort of slang for something funny.
Good.
God,
Could
I really
be.
do. I really did get a Switch out of that. I still can't believe it.
I'm listening.
You still need to add me.
Oh, you need to add
Oh,
me
you're
too.
right.
Fuck.
I'm embarrassed by the amount of hours I've put into Pokemon
okay.
Sword, because I play 3 houses on my friend's account, so it doesn't. My hours don't show up on that.
It's okay. I still love you.
I have about 250, 260 hours on Sword, and about 300 hours on 3 houses.
Well, you have to stop because then you can't have any more than 300 because funny number.
What?
300
Three
for 3
houses.
houses. I don't know. That
100
wasn't a
per
very
I was
good
house.
bit.
I was like, I'm not at 69 hours. No, I need to shoot for 420.
You're right, actually.
I only
Yeah,
have
I need to
I
shoot
only
for
have
420.
130 hours in Animal Crossing.
The second the space of time between 4:13 hours and 4:20 hours will be the worst day of my life because I'll be trying to escape the homestead.
The
You
only
know
other
how-
game I've played for the longest is like I played Mario Odyssey for 40 because I had to 100% it.
Oh, wow.
You know how the space between Christmas and New Year's is liminal? Mm-hmm. The space between 4:13 and 4:20 is also a liminal space, but only for certain
You are-
people.
The
You're
new
very
the,
right.
the
It's
new
a very like I'm the most vulnerable to psychological attacks at that point.
The
Like if you stab my shadow, I'll be bound to you for life.
that New Year's space is worse for me because my birthday is the 4th.
Oh
Of
dear.
January?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh,
Forgot that.
poor
I'm not
Capricorn.
I'm not good at birthdays. The only reason I know Gray's birthday
I'm
is
not
because it's
good.
so close to mine.
Yep.
I'm not good
same.
at birthdays either.
I know
I always forget.
my like household family birthdays and like one of my friends because it was a Homestuck meme.
And then one of my friends, Grace, hers is June 9th, so hers is 6/9, and we're all like, nice.
Hell
Nice.
yeah!
Mine is that funky Earth, Wind, and Fire song.
Do you remember
The 21st of September.
the waveform of me saying "Do you remember" looks like a table lamp. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
No one will be able to see that but me. That's just for me.
That's a little treat. That's
That's a little
a little
treat.
something for Alex.
Alex can have a
Right.
table lamp as a treat.
Little waveform table lamp. You know what we need to bring back?
What?
What?
The post on Tumblr of people making 3D model dildos, but just turning turning it into a 3D
Those
rendering
do look
program.
Like waveforms.
I saw that again
Those do look
recently,
like
and it is a
waveforms.
treat.
It's such a good post.
So anyone who doesn't know that, which I feel like if you do listen to this, you should be a Tumblr veteran, but it is this site where you can make dildos in 3D for like a 3D printer, and instead of making dildos on it, people were like, "What funny shape can I make out of this?" And it's inherently
Call this one the Ramjet.
The lance.
Yeah, it was like a lamp, one that looked like a push pin.
Yeah, there was one that was. I call
called
this
the
one.
Matterhorn.
Yeah, the Matterhorn was just like a medieval
Oh, God.
lance.
Yeah.
Jousting.
And then there's like
I said
there's, like,
I almost
one
forgot the
where-
word. I almost forgot the word for lance and said joust stick.
That's what I call my dick.
I mean, hey, then I got the website for you.
What a world we live in.
Oh, it's not a good one.
It's not.
It's no.
It's not a good one.
There's some funny stuff in there though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
I can't. I need to get like some fucking what's it called? Some like business cards so I can try to promote us at conventions because like I'm certain the people that try to grind on me at like conventions, I can just like slip one in their pocket during the rave.
And they're like, "How?"
I'll just slip it in their pocket.
You
and
can't
they'll
be
like,
you
"Oh,
can't
it's
be
this."
open about the advertisement. You have to sneak it in. You gotta
Someone
you have to make it so they check their pockets like when they're leaving. You're like,
It's
what
an
the
ARG.
fuck? Yeah.
It's an ARG.
You
I
just
slipped my number into
you
there, but
just
it's
buy like 200 cards and you go to the center of the rave and you just throw them in the air and people think it's money at first. They think it's dollar bills and they pick it up and they're like, what the fuck
Oh
is
god, I feel like I would get kicked out.
You might.
Nah.
Depends on how sharp the cards are. Then it could be a
Everyone gets
weapon.
paper cuts.
It could be a weapon. God, I feel like someone has to have done that at conventions before.
What? Like,
Giving someone a paper cut?
I actually, earlier conventions like Otakon, like back in like the 2000 like era of Otakon, when like conventions were just starting to become a big thing, some TF2 cosplayers who were complete dipshits entered the convention, which was in Baltimore, may I tell you, with paintball guns
Oh my god.
and started having a paintball gun fight
my
in the middle
TF2 fans are just like that.
convention in Baltimore,
Jesus.
where I can hear a gunshot at noon.
I wasn't even thinking
Yeah.
of the gun implications. I was just thinking of people having paintball guns indoors with heavy person density.
I mean, if you heard that, like, you would think you were just gonna fucking die.
God, TF2 cosplayers are fucking idiots.
They're the most unhinged of the TF2 community. They're the most wet and wild of them.
I said
feel
cosplayers,
like-
I meant fans in general.
No,
I mean-
the ones that just play the game and have fun,
True.
they're all
I'm
right.
waiting for the 2021 because I'm pretty sure like every convention's canceled for this year for good reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the 2021 discourse will be that some fucking Junko cosplayer like actually murders somebody in the bathroom of the Kalahari. It's probably gonna be that fucking the one with the ratty $300 wig.
Junko cosplayers are also wild.
Yeah.
They just like you can tell a lot by someone by who they're cosplaying, and Junko says a lot.
It says too much.
It says too much.
It says everything you need
It
to
says
know.
a lot. It means that it means that they really like anime. They really like,
and they
just
really
yeah.
hate
or
empathy.
they're either a psychopath or they're horny for anime. That's
the
it.
cosplay
I mean,
community
both.
is a shit show.
It
Like, I haven't
is.
been really engaged with it recently just because I haven't, I've kind of fallen out of being on Instagram a lot, and also my creativity has been at an all-time low
Yeah,
this
I haven't
year.
really been posting any
Yeah, I'm
cosplays
just
or doing
not-
cosplays either.
It's hard, but as an outside observer, because I've never really gotten very big, in cosplay circles.
Yeah, me neither.
But just as an outside observer of cosplay drama, you just kind of see something happen. You're like, what the fuck are these people on?
It's
I
its
mean, I
own
have
little down the rabbit
several.
hole episode.
It
Yeah,
really
I have several
is.
cosplay friends. I mean, it's hard to go down the rabbit hole unless you know people because like so much of it is just like word of mouth or like cuz like people have tried to make like call out accounts, but those get deleted pretty fast.
Yeah. Like most of
Yeah.
the drama that I see is secondhand of people like posting on their stories of either defending the
Yeah.
person or being against the person. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't follow
What
this person.
happened?
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, and then it's so fast paced.
Yeah, it just happens like that, and either it goes away really quickly. So either the person like is bullied off the platform, or it just kind of goes away and no one really talks about
I
it
mean,
anymore.
a lot of times there are like so many cosplayers who, and I would never say this if I were talking about normal people, but I'm talking about cosplayers. I myself being one. They deserve. Some people fucking deserve to be run off the platform because they will do the most buck wild shit.
Yeah.
Like there was a problematic cosplayer that just straight up started doing heroin.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
We live in a society.
We live in a society.
We sure do. We sure fucking do. God. Cosplay drama's fucking wild.
It truly is.
If I-
And it's entertaining, but only for like a second. And you're like, this is just sad.
I have cosplayers. I have friends that are big cosplayers, so I always hear this shit from them. And they're just like, yeah, zoom in on their leg. You can see the marks. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, how did y'all figure this out?
Like they're treating it like an ARG.
Yeah. God, like I've been there. Like
There, someone
I hit my
that,
head.
that is going to be the
my
next
leg.
big debacle. Is someone's going to have like a call out post ARG?
That would be
Honestly,
really
I feel like
funny.
that's happened, but by accident.
What was that one YouTuber where like everyone thought that she was kidnapped and she was making videos in like while she was kidnapped, while she was being
I
held
do not
hostage.
remember.
I've
You don't
never
remember
heard of
this?
this before in my
It
life.
was, I remember I saw it on Tumblr back before it was dispelled.
It was like, oh, you must have seen.
Yeah, it
something
was
about
like this fashion YouTuber, and she had the
That's
like,
why I am.
no,
I was.
but, like,
I'm not
like,
in that circle.
I'm not either, but it was this fashion YouTuber who out of like one day she released a couple of videos, and I remember watching the videos that were like dissecting it, and like she had like marks on her arms, very vague. She had
I'm
a
Googling
very glassy expression, like she wasn't quite there. Kept losing like her train of thought, very very out of her personality. There were like
Marina Joyce.
Marina Joyce, right? And there were like chains in the background. It wasn't obvious, but like in like there were like if you see
Yeah, I
in the
remember
background
that.
in this scene that there's chains, and like
Like,
it was
everybody was convinced.
say that again.
Like everybody was convinced.
Yeah,
she was kidnapped.
I was convinced. Fuck.
Me
But I was
too.
like
I was
16,
too.
so.
I mean,
What
I
a
was.
wild
But yeah,
ride.
there were YouTube
Yeah.
videos like showing all the evidence against it. I can't remember if it. I'm pretty sure it was dispelled as a publicity stunt, but I don't
I
remember.
think it was just. I don't think she wanted to get into it. She was just
yeah,
like,
it just kind of passed over. Like
"Hey,
she denied
my
anything was going
issues."
on in her Q&A videos.
I mean, she probably had some personal stuff
Yeah,
going on.
I
yeah,
got
that was probably
I'm
it.
so out of the loop on this specific thing that like it wasn't that I wasn't in like the circle that like knew fashion YouTubers. I was like too adjacent where like
Like, big
people I
YouTubers-
follow don't know people don't follow people that don't follow people that know about this. Like there was no
You gotta hear it
I
secondhand.
couldn't get it from any outside source, so I didn't
Yeah.
know what.
But yeah, it was. I remember I first saw it on a Tumblr post that people were like, "You see this shit? This shit's crazy." And then I like started digging into it because I'm curious, and I'm sure, like I'm sure
Yeah, it was- I
if
think
Shane
it was-
Dawson was doing his fucking conspiracy theory videos at the time,
think
he
he
would have
covered
done a
it.
goddamn video on it.
It was like before ARGs got really big,
I don't know. ARGs have
So, like-
always been.
but like mainstream big.
Mhm, yeah.
I remember the Binding of Isaac ARG. That shit was wild. It was just to unlock like the final character of the game, but people had to like go like dig up little statues that Edmund McMillan had like buried around like LA.
Oh shit!
That's
He had like physical like little fucking like clay cooked fucking little statues of Binding of Isaac things that people had to go like find coordinates and dig up, and it was like, all right, once someone cracks the code, I unlock this for everyone on Steam.
Physical.
I remember everyone does a lot of that
ARGs
nowadays.
Physical ARGs are the coolest thing. Like the shit that Alex Hirsch did for
Yeah,
the end of Gravity Falls with that big scavenger hunt. Like I just think that's so neat because it's a bunch of people coming together and doing stuff, and it's actually like in real life instead of all online.
They want to solve a mystery.
Yeah. It's
It was really sweet.
like I remember watching
And,
a video about it. It's like it's so cool and it's so sweet and it's so like it's just rad.
like the passion.
Exactly.
I got a mystery that we
I-
can end off on.
What?
Hold on.
Usually when ARGs come around, they tend to get ruined for me pretty fast because people tend to default to like satanic symbolism.
Yep.
And I study that sort of thing just for funsies. So I've just like I'm just like, oh, this is just like the sigil of Saturn on like some like kids like phone like play foam or whatever. Like I get what they're trying to get at here. It's just child sacrificed. Next.
And so we've reached the end of another thrilling episode, and I've decided that I'm going to create an ARG of our own. The ARG is,
Oh,
what soda did I just crack open?
Oh shit.
Mountain Dew.
Find it. I was going to say find out
I have
next
interwoven
time.
the brand. I have interwoven the brand, the flavor, and whether it's diet or
Mountain Dew.
not in this hour. It's not Mountain Dew.
Dr. Pepper.
It's not Dr. Pepper. You can't keep guessing. They'll know. It's for the viewers to decide.
Yeah, they
going
gotta
to kill
figure it out from the clues that Alex has subliminally sprinkled in through the episode.
All right, all 6 of you that watch this,
1, bury your gold. 2, find out what flavor of soda I was drinking.
3 decided which of the 4 people that were on last which of the 4 that are no longer here that were on last week's episode ate the most of me and whose power I absorbed.
That's great, because that means it can go into Vor. Goodbye, everyone.
I hate you. I hate you for that. I hate you.